Good morning. This is Jim Paterson, CEO of Kivalliq Energy Corporation. Thank you for the opportunity to present Kivalliq's story at AGORACOM's first online uranium conference. We're happy to share the stage with other industry leaders in the uranium space, as well as the industry experts who have agreed to impart some of their knowledge with you as online conference attendees. In my presentation today, I'll summarize information related to Kivalliq's leadership team, the area of the world where we conduct exploration, and our success with local community engagement efforts. With respect to Kivalliq's exploration project in Canada's Nunavut Territory, I'll explain why we feel that the Angilak property is district scale potential and review the merits of our high-grade Lac 50 trend uranium deposit. Before I get started, I'd ask you to please take the time to carefully read and consider the text on this slide. It's important for attendees to understand the risks and uncertainties related to our industry and specific to our company. I jokingly call this our brag slide because despite the tough market conditions for uranium companies over the past few years, we've delivered on the corporate and exploration front, and we're proud of our efforts. Kivalliq drill programs have shown the high-grade nature and growth potential of our Lac 50 trend inferred uranium resource. We've added key team members to our management and board of directors, and based on our success, we've raised $35 million since the earthquake in Japan, drilled more than 50 miles of diamond drill core, made multiple drilling and prospecting discoveries, and we acquired 80,000 acres last fall to bring our total land holdings to 340,000 acres. We've kept ourselves very busy. As our work at the Angilak property has gained traction over the past few years, we've added a lot of strength to our team. At a board level, we've added expertise related to the uranium fuel markets and uranium industry M&A experience. We also bolstered our management team with finance and legal capacity. On a project level, our operational team continues to execute large logistical programs and successful exploration campaigns year after year on budget. We're one of the few groups able to raise capital for significant exploration programs over the past few years, and we sincerely thank our shareholders for their support through these challenging times in the uranium sector. Nunavut Territory in northern Canada is a highly active mineral development and mining jurisdiction. Major companies such as Xstrata, Chinaman Metals, ArcelorMittal, and Agnico Eagle are advancing or operating mining projects. On the uranium front, both Cameco and Areva maintain a high profile in the territory's Basin. Cameco with uranium discoveries, and Areva advancing its large Kivalliq project through the permitting process. To the south of these projects, you can see Kivalliq's 340,000 acre Angilak property. For a jurisdiction with around 30,000 inhabitants, there's a lot going on with respect to the mining industry, and it is a very mining friendly jurisdiction. Beginning with our landmark agreement with Nunavut Tungavik Inc. over 5 years ago to explore for uranium on Inuit owned lands, Kivalliq Energy has maintained a strong relationship with the people of Nunavut Territory in the form of community visits, site visits, and employment opportunities. Our work has resulted in winning environmental stewardship awards from the regional Inuit regulator, the KIA, in 2 of the past 3 seasons. We've invested more than $50 million since 2007 in the Angilak property and have shown that the Lac 50 trend hosts one of the highest grade uranium deposits in the world, excluding those located in Saskatchewan's Athabasca Basin. We've also shown Kivalliq's ability to grow our resource base substantially through resource and exploratory drilling. Our exploration results over the past few years have demonstrated that the large Angilak property truly has district scale potential. We use a blend of transportation options to supply our Angilak property camp. It does take a lot of planning, but our team has significant experience in Canada's north, and we can do it in a safe and cost-effective manner in both winter and summer conditions. The camp is accessed in 48 hours by snowcats overland from the community of Baker Lake in winter, and helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft such as 737s, Dash 7s, and Hercules, depending on the season. The Angilak property camp opens in February, with drilling possible from April through to September. The camp swells to over 50 people during the summer, including geologists, prospectors, drillers, geophysicists, cooks, geotechs, pilots, and administrators, to name a few professionals who make our exploration program possible. Equipment on site includes drill rigs, bulldozers, loaders, skid steers, cat challengers, and something called tundra buggies. It's always very busy and exciting around our camp when the season is in full swing. The blue numbers on top of the gray bars in this graph represent millions of Canadian dollars invested in annual exploration programs at the Angilak Property since our company's inception. As you can see, our success and support of shareholders have allowed a massive jump in growth and activity since 2009. Compared with our uranium explorer peer group, the 2011 and 2012 exploration programs were some of the largest exploration programs in the globe. The past few years have been marked with many new uranium discoveries, resource base increases, and recognition for our strict environmental standards. We have been a company in rapid growth mode. Now that you've seen where we operate and get a sense of our exploration methods and size and scale of Kivalliq's annual programs, I want to highlight two key points. Despite our northern location, we have maintained industry-beating discovery costs of $1.32 per pound uranium. And we've delivered a 300% increase in the Lac 50 Trend Inferred Resource in the past 2 seasons alone. Our exploration team is very good at what it does, and we have the cost-effective results to prove it. The property-wide results to date at Angilak are highly encouraging. I want to take a few moments to explain this slide so that you can get a better understanding of why we feel that Angilak has district-scale potential. By noting the map's legend in the top left corner, you'll understand what the symbols mean. Firstly, the blue lines show the borders of our 340,000 acre land holding, which encompasses significant sections of 2 sandstone basins. For uranium, basins like these are generally a great place to explore. To get a sense of distance, look at the scale bar top right, and also the black horizontal bar showing 35 kilometers, that is 21 miles. You can see the red dots from one side of this property to the other. The red dots in the legend and the map show the grade ranges of uranium from prospecting samples taken across the property. We are finding uranium in a variety of geological settings across the Angilak property, including our growing resource base in the Lac 50 Trend, which you can identify as blue dots within the parallel black dashed lines. We've hit uranium and drill core in 75% of our exploratory holes within the Lac 50 Trend, and our team has done a great job of converting drill discoveries into inferred resources in the past 3 seasons. I'm just going to zoom in a little closer to the Lac 50 Trend to give you a better idea of our exploration work to date. Now we've zoomed in closer to see where the bulk of our exploration work to date has been focused. The legend at the bottom of this map will again help you understand what you were looking at. At bottom left, you'll see a green box which represents the outline of our 340,000 acre land position. The red box within it shows the area that you were looking at in the map above. Again, the red dots represent high-grade uranium results from prospecting samples, and the beige colored area represents the sandstone basin. The wildly colored pattern along the top half of the image shows geophysical conductors. Geophysics has been an invaluable tool for us, in conjunction with prospecting and drilling, to target uranium mineralization. These geophysical conductors show us structures which merit further exploration, and we've had a lot of success drill testing geophysical conductors along the same structure and on parallel trends to Lac 50. Any zone identified with the name on this map is a target where we've successfully hit uranium mineralization in drill core in a parallel structure to Lac 50. The 43.3 million pound inferred uranium resource can be identified by the WE, that is western extension, the MZ, which is the main zone, the EE, which is the eastern extension, and the Ray and J4 zones. The gap between the EE and Ray zones is a compelling target, and I'll talk more about it in subsequent slides. The important aspects to understand about this image are that, number one, our targeting techniques have worked very well to date, and there are many more targets to test with a goal to continue to build the Lac 50 Trend resource base. In this picture taken in late August 2012, you are hovering just to the west of the J4 Ray zones and looking off to the east. From the initial discovery on July 1 through to September 15th, the 3 drill rigs you see in this picture added over 15 million pounds of uranium to Kivalliq's inferred resource base at the J4 and Ray zones. In this shot, you were looking back to the west along the Lac 50 Trend. We've drawn black lines to represent the top edge of the J4 and Ray zones in the foreground. At the top of the picture you can see a gold star loosely representing the general location of the western extension, main zone, and eastern extension zones. It is one of Kivalliq's top priorities to drill the compelling geophysical targets between the western margin of the J4 ray zones in the foreground and the eastern margin of the eastern extension, represented by the gold star at the top of the picture. We plan to test these targets along with many others in the Lac 50 trend and elsewhere on the property this spring and summer. This chart gives you an idea of uranium grades along the vertical axis versus millions of pounds of uranium along the horizontal axis. As you can see, the Lac 50 trend, represented by the blue circle, stacks up very well against the deposits held by our peers. It's our goal to move that blue circle along to the right in the chart, while maintaining the high-grade nature of the Lac 50 trend deposits. Note in the lower left corner of the chart, excluding Athabasca deposits, the global average of known uranium deposits is roughly 0.1% U3O8. Our Lac 50 trend inferred resource is close to 7 times that number. Lac 50 is already a high-quality asset, but we're confident that the resource base has considerable growth potential through additional exploration. Earlier this month, we released highly encouraging news with respect to a potential final yellowcake product from the zones in the Lac 50 trend. Our preliminary metallurgical tests have shown that we can achieve high uranium recoveries from a conventional alkaline leaching process, and just as importantly, initial precipitation tests yielded a low impurity final yellowcake. Having an attractive final product is very positive, as it de-risks the project substantially and should increase our options with respect to any future processing activities. To summarize, Kivalliq Energy has a driven team with supportive shareholders and local partners. Together, we're advancing a uranium project in the mining-friendly Nunavut Territory of northern Canada. Results to date have shown our ability to rapidly convert discoveries into additional uranium resources within the Lac 50 trend, and our work continues to demonstrate the district-scale potential of the Angilak property. Recent tests have also shown the potential for a highly attractive yellowcake product. As a company, we are in growth mode, despite the backdrop of challenging capital markets for companies in the exploration and mining space. For current corporate data and more comprehensive management bios and Angilak property information, please visit kivalliqenergy.com. We encourage you to sign up to receive our news releases so that you can track our progress and keep up to date as we advance the Angilak property. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference presentations.